Pork cake? Pork cake. What are you doing with that pork? Oh, you know, just baking my cake. Eggs. A cup of sugar. The only type of dates I can get. These ones also end in pieces. Blackstrap molasses. Cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg. Already looks like the Great Depression. This feels illegal. Finger the pork and batter. You've got the wrong man. Add flour. Thanks. You ever see a sewage pipe burst? Bake in a moderate oven. No need to get political. Don't tell Gordon Ramsay. Good. I need therapy. Oh boy. It tastes like a question mark. A good question mark. Bake this for someone, but don't tell them till afterward. Tuna salad jello. You bet. What are you doing with that tuna, Dylan? Oh, you know, making jello. 1969 Lubbock, Texas community cookbook. Cup of water. Salt. Fire. Half a red onion. This was written by Mitchell White. Of course that's his name. This recipe is making me cry, not the onions. Gelatin! Vinegar! Already smells like death. In you go. Really, Mitchell? I want to know who hurt this man. Celery. Make sure to chop it up all fine and disgusting. 5 ounces of albacore tuna. Are we sure this recipe wasn't written by a cat? Was Mitchell a cat? Now we wait. Oh boy. Oh. How did we get to this? I do this for you. Oh. Mitchell! That's not food. This is a war crime. A prune pie from the Great Depression. Why just live in the Great Depression when you could also have chronic diarrhea? Wants me to plump in my prunes in water. I ain't plumping my prunes in nothing. Buy me dinner first. Pastry! Are you getting plump? Is plumping even a verb? I have birthed you. Easy does it. Blind bake the pie shell. That was distasteful. It looks like a failed grave robbery. Crust complete. Fire! Sugar. Prunes. Smells like botulism. It's 10 p.m. and I'm boiling prunes in my kitchen. Walnuts ain't gonna save this recipe, sweetie. Beat egg whites. How many? Stiff. Fold together. How does one know when a laxative is done cooking? Alrighty. Huh. You know, it's not bad. It just vaguely tastes like a felony. An emergency war cake. No eggs, no milk, no butter, no joy. There's no sugar either. Is this the cake? 2 teacups of raisins. How am I supposed to know how big your teacups are? Ira? 1 teacup of dates. Why do dead people like dates so much? Bam! Fire! 1.5 cups of molasses. Pretty sure this is how diesel is made. Cinnamon! Ira needs cloves. Easy does it. Wouldn't want to ruin a disaster. Here goes nothing. What in good God is this? Ira, honey, I'm going to war. Over what? Your cooking. Come on! This is the only cake that looks burnt before you bake it. Oh dear. Tastes like a boot. Like a size 10 boot. Swedish meat ring. The slogan for this cookbook is... It's digestible. Crisco. We don't know what it is either. Make a pie pastry with Crisco. All caps. Remember, kids, the main ingredient in pie pastry is self-doubt. Oh, no. A Christmas miracle. Onion. Here come the tears. Like my mom after a glass of wine. Fire. Fry in 2 tablespoons of Crisco. On this episode of Dead White People. Ground beef. Who's mooing now? The tomatoes and the beef. Lighting very good. I stay right together with you. It's like if a beef Wellington got sad. This feels familiar. Brush with egg to make presentable. Honey, that ship has sailed. Cream peas. I didn't know tuberculosis had a color scheme. I've baked a toilet. I won't lie, it smells good. Tastes good, but it feels like a pre-existing condition. A cake with meat in the middle? You bet! Out in the Atlantic is the island of Bermuda, and every Christmas here we make something called cassava pie, starting with the root of the cassava plant. Same thing you make tapioca out of. We put it in a tea towel and squeeze the ever-living daylights out of it. The unprocessed root contains cyanide, so we squeeze it to get rid of anything bitter before adding 1.5 pounds of butter, that's 5 sticks, and then a dozen eggs, plus a casual 2 pounds of sugar.
As you can see, we have plenty of it.
Add some fresh nutmeg and you can start building your pie. Most Bermudians just use chicken, but this year we use chicken and beef. Top it off, fork it over, and bake it for 3 whole hours. But by the end of it, that is the smell of Christmas. A Civil War cake. Of course it uses lard. Why not? Honey, call the police. 2 cups of raisins. It's always the raisins. Add 1 egg of lard. What are you feeding your chickens? You happy? Sister. Ah, fire! A cup of coffee. No. 1 cup of coffee. This is a misdemeanor. I think I've summoned something. Brown sugar. Eggy. Lard. What do you want me to do with this? Call the CDC. This is the South's revenge. Ah. Flour. Apples. Add nuts. How much? I need nut instructions. Cinnamon. Woo. Smells deceased. Seems to have collapsed. Like the South. Tastes damp. Wet. A water pie from the Great Depression. Can you bake a pie with 4 ingredients? Yes! I could also eat my mattress. Fire your oven. I'm sorry, but we have to let you go. Pastry! It's been 13 months. What if I told you I hate pie? Oh boy, it fits! Fork it. I'm not that desperate. Blind bake the pastry. That's rude. Are you still here? Damn it. Add 3 gills of water. This is written for a fish. Is this a joke? Sugar! Flour. I think this qualifies as a pre-existing condition. Unconstitutional. Top with butter. We're not even at a red light. This is not legal! Alright, it finished a bit early, like my ex. It's a breast implant. No, ma'am! Very bad! Tastes like lint. Soggy lint. No, man, this Valentine's Day? No problem! Let's make a 1950s candle salad. Start with 1 piece of lettuce. Oh, Betty Crocker, what are you up to? French Revolution, your pineapple. You could just use canned pineapple if you're a communist. Peel a banana. Betty, darling, put the banana in... You're out of pocket. This one's European. Insert. Insert what? 1 toothpick in the top. Add 1 maraschino cherry for the flame. Oh God, it's bleeding. For the candle wax. The what? And with that, your candle salad is finished. No shit. Doesn't tell you how to eat it. So I don't know if I need a knife and fork or I need to tie my hair back. Good morning. I mean, it tastes like a banana. Have a good Valentine's. Stay safe. A fake apple pie from the Great Depression. This recipe was sent to me by Herbert Hoover Feet Picks. Something for everybody. Instead of apples, this recipe uses Ritz crackers. Sugar! Water! Fire! Stir until disgusting. Craft time! Oh, you crafty. Are you 9 inches yet? Said 15-year-old me. Lemon juice. I wish. 40 Ritz crackers. What am I supposed to expect? Suppose it's better than eating your offspring. Do I call the police or a priest? A priest. Honey, there's been an accident. Bake at 4:30. I'm bleeding. Oh boy. Whoa. It tastes like apples. We found the first good one. A soured raisin pie from the Second World War. Now I know this is gonna be awful because it calls for soured milk, not buttermilk, not milk and vinegar, no honey. Soured bad milk. Oh, she's thick. The raisins. Use butter pastry for flavor. Flavor. 3, 2, 1. Blast off to the toilet. A cup of sour cream. Disgusting wasn't enough for you. Call the UN. Add spices. Thanks for that. What goes well with IBS? Brown sugar. Smells like Normandy. Charming. Bake until done. You're a piece of work. Goodbye. The pothole. I should have gone to church. No. Tastes like a shower drain or a bunion. A tomato soup cake from 1950. What's the difference between margarine and shortening? The amount of time spent on the toilet. Need reinforcements. Sugar in a carton. Creamy. Sift your flour 3 times. Lady, your cake has tomato soup in it. This is the least of your worries. Clove, cinnamon, and nutmeg. With the soup. Can't hide from me. I wish you could. Bloop. Cinnamon. No. 911, what's your emergency? Yeah, that lady Carol is at the barbecue again. Careful not to overmix. Sorry, I'm just trying to kill it. It smells like a hospital. Tomato spice. If pumpkin spice got hit by a bus. At least it's not moving. Icing. Shut up. Doesn't taste like tomato. Tastes like chocolate. A chocolate potato cake from 1912. This is why we don't perform lobotomies anymore. Boil a potato. Did I mention this was a cake? Skins stay on, unlike Americans. Fire! Cream the butter. Can we at least have coffee first? Butter go boom. Should be a pale white. Eggy. Wakey, wakey. Who's tough now?
Moo juice. Bloop.
Sim-a-nim. Chocolate. I bet this recipe is just all the wrong answers on a baking test. Smells like dentures. Go away. Goodbye. For the icing, we boil butter, sugar, milk, and chocolate. My time has come. Not bad, dead people. All right. You're not supposed to work! It's incredible, and I'm mad about it. A vinegar pie from the Great Depression. A modern take on home baking. Sir, your phone number is 4 digits. Pastry! This is my son. Get a little bit dusty. You're gonna want a deep 9-inch. Don't we all? Blind bake at 350. Eggy! No, officer, there's no shell in here. Sugar! Add your Pauladine extract. So far, so good. Vinegar. I take it back. Wakey, wakey, time for school. A dash of sorghum. Well, I don't have sorghum because I don't have a life expectancy of 12.
That's the power of pine salt, baby.
For thine is the kingdom. Bake to your liking. Sweetie, none of this is my liking. Don't come back. It came back. Nah. Heaven. This is what I'd imagine a toilet brush to taste like. A Spam pie from the 1960s. A little late in the century for war crimes. Crust is saltines. Downshift. Butter. Eggy. Marjoram. Are you just making things up? Who are you? You know, I've never been particularly religious, but today might be the day. A cup of evaporated milk. Have you lost the plot? I feel like if I do this correctly, I'm gonna invoke the spirit of Richard Nixon. This ain't food, honey. This is a bioweapon. Cheddar. You're a monster. Liposuction looking. Decorate with almonds. Decorate? How do you decorate a tumor? He says, don't worry. They'll toast in the oven. We're not concerned about the almonds. I am in utter fear. Oh. Salt! God damn! Yeah, this is severe. Tastes like an IHOP kitchen floor. A pork belly fruitcake from 1915. Meat and desserts was quite common back then. So was botulism. Steep a pound of pork in a cup of water. Fire! Honey, would you like Earl Grey or pork? I'll take a divorce. Sugar! Cup of molasses. Sweet, bitter, and meaty. Like my ex. Yeah, why is it foaming? Do you think you could hear me? Currants. Peel. Apple juice. What? Ginger. Don't say it, Dylan. Cinnamon. Needs flour. 1, 2, 3. How big is this cake? 350 for 2.5 hours. Suppose any less and it might gain consciousness. Chungus. She's looking like a house foundation. All right, we got 2 fruitcakes here. What's scary is that it's not terrible. It's got this oily richness to it, but something just ain't right. I think it's the pound of pork. Ham and bananas hollandaise. Welcome to the 70s. 4 bananas. Peeled. Whoopsie. Boiled ham. Now we need to individually wrap the bananas. This was still the Cold War after all. Fear of communist bananas was at an all-time high. Bake it. Seems logical. 10 minutes. Hollandaise. Oh boy. Eggy. Just the yolk. Water and lemon juice. Very hot butter. Careful. Very slowly. Cayenne. My bananas are baked. The 70s. Sponsored by the color beige. Oh boy. Huh? Sweet, it's meaty, it's salty. It's uncomfortably appetizing. A Watergate salad from 1976. One of the many questionable substances people experimented with in the 70s. Pistachio pudding. In you go. Crushed pineapple. Hello, you are very green, sir. Cup of fluffy boys. Smells like a Palm Springs retirement home. Time to beat it. Cooperate. Perfect. Good night. Optional walnuts. Walnuts are never optional. Oh my. Nixon wished it was this easy. Cheers. Ooh, yep, Nixon would have loved this. It's not bad, it's just a cup of diabetes. I can feel my teeth rotting. A bean pie from the 1920s. Beans, you heard me. Now these took a long bath last night. Good night. Good morning. Time to cook them. Fire! Pastry! Gotta use your fingies. Thank you for cooperating today. Bean rebellion! 2 cups of flour. Yummy, yummy. Cinnamon, moo juice, eggy. How many? I don't know. It just says eggs. Sugar. Oh dear. 4. Did you just kill my blender? Hello? This is personal now. You swung first. Checkmate. Looks horrifying. Let's slow down for a bit. Nothing makes sense anymore.
Why are you good? You have a bag of beans in you.
A chocolate mayonnaise cake from 56. This has been my most requested cake. Of course, it's the mayonnaise, flour, sugar, floofers. Today you will rise. Potted cocoa. Why she smells like chocolate. Mayonnaise! And it's not just a little bit. No, it's a severe, unauthorized cup of mayonnaise. Cup of water. Honey, you can't dilute a war crime. You know, it's horrible now, but I hope it turns out okay. Like children. I'm sending you to summer camp. For the frosting, we boil milk, sugar, cocoa, and margarine. Fire! Beat in mayonnaise to the chocolate. Do you keep it in your purse? Hello. Maybe if I just don't think about it. Good heavens. Holy fuck. Fantastically moist. The chocolate is tangy. I'll concede you were right. Chipped beef from World War II. Also known as shit on a shingle. Butter. Milk. Fire. Now we have dried beef.
I didn't know beef came in a jar.
Chop up your dehydrated cow. Pamper bath. Flour. Pepper. Boys, it's time to toast.
I can see where the name comes from. No.
Yeah, it's not good. It tastes like it's insulting me. A 7-Up Jell-O salad from 63. Let me tell you, this recipe... Cream cheese. Gotta get you fluffy. Half a cup of mayo. This went downhill pretty quick. Water. Fire. Lime Jell-O. More like crime Jell-O. It's like reading directions to purgatory. Whoop. Star of the show. Now we have carbonated mayonnaise lime water. Don't ask me how it smells. Gotta chill. Pineapple and maraschinos. Everything's so sticky. Okay. Cool Whip. 1, 2.
Marshmallows with the mayo.
Walnuts. Unholy. See you later. Good morning.
Woo. There's so much going on!
Sorry, I can't say it's bad. It tastes like aggressively sweet fruit salad put into lime gelato. That doesn't make any of this okay. A carrot pie from 1919. Before pumpkin pie became king, people ate this. Now they're dead. Pound of carrots. Reloading! I just love this. Water! Fire! Time for pastry! Welcome to the world. It's awful.
Get in, please. Get in the pan.
Get in! Moo juice. Only a half cup of sugar. It's time for some eggy ginger. Simming. Time's up. Combine all ingredients except for pie shell. Were you really worried that I was gonna mix in a fully constructed pie shell into this? I'm a fool, not an idiot. This is frighteningly liquid.
Who are you?
Fascinating. Hold on. It's a pumpkin pie imposter. Bit chewier, but elsewise lovely. A peanut pie from 1941. Courtesy of the Caro Kid, who I can only describe as an infant male escort. Ready? Work with me here. You need a haircut. Any big plans for the weekend? Whole cup of Caro. Ooh. A cup of sugar. So you want sugar with your sugar. Diabetes go buh. Eggy shell. You didn't see anything. Margarine. Vanilla. 8 ounces of peanuts. All right. Stop looking at me. Avast! Oh God. What have you done? Oh. Demon baby! What did I do? It tastes like crunchy diesel. A chocolate sauerkraut cake from 48. Thought this was a joke. Turns out I'm the joke. Sauerkraut. A whole cup. Soak in water and then drain. Better. 1.5 cups of sugar. Cream time. You can use a mixer. I just do this to feel something. Eggies 3. Flour. Half cup of cocoa. Baking powder. Water.
Yummy.
Fold in sauerkraut carefully. Or what? I'm gonna ruin your disaster? Can a cake be tried for treason? In she go. I know it's open! Sleep tight. Wow. Bring buttercream and chocolate to a boil. Fire! Okay. No. Incredible. It feels like coconut. I don't taste sauerkraut. Either chocolate fixes everything or this is alchemy. A shoe fly pie from 1900. A favorite of the Pennsylvania Dutch who apparently have this for breakfast. Now that's what you call bravery. No. No sticking. You're gonna die here.
Yes.
Time for filling. An entire cup of molasses. Very cheeky. 3/4 of a cup of water. And 1 very lonely, very dead eggy. A teaspoon of baking powder. What exactly are we trying to raise up? Hope. Vigorous whisking. Very wet. We get to make a crumble. Sugar. Flour. Then some lard. What is it with dead people and their obsession with this? Yes, I just love baking. Hello. Ooh, that's molasses. Very sweet, very bitter. If you love molasses, this is the pie for you. An avocado pie from 66. Graham cracker crust. 5 tablespoons of melted Paula Deen. Unsalted. She must be in a good mood today. Dash of sugar. I don't know how big your dash is. Remember the edges, Dylan. The edges! Blind bake the shell for 15. Avocados. 3. Ooh, it's a boy. Delicious. Howdy. Cream cheese. Sweetened condensed milk. This is from 1938. It's only electrocuted me twice. Woo! Yes, sir. You need the juice of 2 limes. Woo! Smells like the war. La, la, la. Chill time. Good morning. You know what? This is doing something for me. It's rather eccentric, but very smooth and quite light. That right there is a summer pie. A coal miner cake from 1936. Starting off on the right foot here with a half cup of lard. If I cut off my feet, do we still have to do this? This stuff is great, you know. You can run your tractor on it. Brown sugar. Drizzle of molasses. Is this the coal? 4 eggies. They did you dirty. We seem to have made a chamber pot. Flour. Cuckoo. Half cup of strong coffee. Fire. Now we mix baking soda into sour cream. There are too many things happening. Get in. Then we alternate flour, coffee, flour, coffee. You are banished. Has it unionized? Looks good, but looks can be deceiving. They're very dense and pungent. Suppose I wouldn't mind it if I was in a coal mine, but in a coal mine I'm not. A perfection salad from 1961. In typical 60s fashion, we're using gelatin. We meet again. Nothing says salad like animal collagen. Half cup of boiling water. Apple cider vinegar. Lemon juice. Bit of salt. In you go. Now we shred celery, carrots, and cabbage. Always wash these real good. Celery's just like your parents. Dirtier than you think. This was supposed to be a fun way to get kids to eat their vegetables. How'd that work out, America? Onion powder. Pepper. Okay. What's the point? A loaf pan? Really? I just love when my salad comes in a brick. Good night. Good morning. It's time for mayonnaise. What have you perfected? Garbage! It's cold, limp, and crunchy, and bad. A pepper cake from 1915. Instead of regular flavorings, this cake uses peppercorn and caraway, which is an interesting idea because it's awful. Half cup of butter. Sugar. 2 eggy. You hate to see it. Add a cup of syrup. What do you want, Miss Butterworth? Ma'am, this is very runny, like me in an hour. To a half cup of sour cream, we add an entire tablespoon of cracked pepper, caraway, and then the floofers. Introducing the world's worst dip. Get in, flour. A cup of raisins. Love those. Yay. Bacon oven. Well, at least you specified the appliance, huh? I was gonna bake this in the dishwasher. This is bizarre. It tastes like an identity crisis on a plate. Potato candy from the Great Depression. Just like my relationships, candy is inevitably unhealthy, so potato seems a peculiar addition. Peel and boil 1 russet. Ah! This recipe only has 3 ingredients, so I'm a bit scared. Your time has come. Add 8 to 10 cups of powdered sugar. Cups? Cups! 8 is the low end. There shouldn't be 8 to 10 cups of anything. This is poundage of sugar. The potatoes are gone. It's turned to liquid. Are you a sorcerer? So much powder. Reminds me of my summers in Colombia. We literally now have a dough which we're gonna roll out. This is ridiculous. This potato. Jar of peanut butter. Every turn in this recipe has been a left. Come on. This feels familiar. To the fridge. Well. Mushroom. It's good. I'll be damned. Magic ice cream from the Great Depression. Now, in my personal experience, depression and ice cream are a match made in heaven, so I have high hopes for this. We begin with 1 package of raspberry jello. Going to assume we have the same sized package. Though the last time I made that mistake, I ended up stunned and quite self-conscious. Half cup of boiling water. Ah! Cup of sugar. By the way, this is a no-churn ice cream, hence the magic. 3 cups of moon juice. Vanilla. To the fridge. Whip a cup of cream. So this took 40 minutes to stiffen up, which means it should see a doctor, but it also means we get to fold in the whipped cream. Be very gentle. Now, if it's not folding in properly like mine, you can go ahead and cry, or put it back in the fridge. It's your call. Cover and freeze until firm. Good night. Good morning. Good heavens. It's surprisingly soft. Impressive, sir. Survival bread from 1972. This bread is claimed to last upwards of 7 years, or roughly the amount of time it's taken me to get my bachelor's degree. We start with a cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of honey, the same of water. Then we bring to a boil with a pack of lemon jello. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that jello is inevitable. Oh, we love jello. Shut up. Fire! For the dry ingredients, we need 2½ cups of powdered milk, 2 cups of oats. Oh, stop that! How am I gonna survive the apocalypse if I can't survive oats? Once whatever this is has boiled, you add it to the dry. Oh, she's thick. Add a bit of water if we need to. Sweetie, this needs a lot of things, but water isn't one of them. Then we mold it into a brick. So sticky. 30 minutes, 350. Huh. This is an enigma. It is quite dry, but not in a bad way, like a biscotti. I would take this camping. Frog eye salad from 1968. Start by boiling a pot of water. Fire! Cook a box of acini de pepe to al dente. You know, the other word for al dente is correct. To a new saucepan, we have a cup of sugar, dash of flour, 2 eggies, then the juice from all of this canned pineapple. You see this? This is concern. Cook this, drain the pasta. Time to go. Oh. We've chilled both of these down, and now we start combining. Pineapple. Why? The author calls this her comfort food. I call it a mistake. Pound of mandarin oranges, a tub of Cool Whip, a cup of... cup of marshmallows. Add salt if it needs it. It doesn't need salt, it needs help. To the fridge. I just don't understand. Yeah, so it's not good. A polka dot prune loaf from 1951. So we're either gonna be polka dotting the loaf or polka dotting the toilet. I know where I've got my money. Start by cooking 28 prunes, which is actually 28 too many. Water! Fire! 3 cups of Bisquick mix. Not sure if I'm curious or scared. Eggy moo juice! Now we form a dough. I wanted to make this last year, but I couldn't because there was a toilet paper shortage. Roll out and cut into 28 squares. Don't look at me. I couldn't tell you where this is going. I just know it's the wrong destination. Melted butter. Sugar. Then we wrap and dip each prune before going into a loaf pan. This has to be the most complicated laxative on the planet. Dip. Spice in the pan. Keep the balls arranged closely. That is solid advice. First row done. Row 2. Top the 3rd row with nuts and bake. I don't know about this. Between the Bisquick and the prunes, it's just very odd. Plus, it's liable to punish the porcelain. A peanut butter pie from 1953. Now this pie is described as a chiffon. Now what does that mean? It means it was written by a white person. We start by adding a pack of gelatin to water. I told you. The yolks of 2 eggies, 1/4 cup of sugar, and water. Cook over a double boiler. We're getting bougie today. Fire! Gelatin. Vigorous whisking. Fridge. 1/2 cup of peanut butter, 1/2 cup of water. You're diluting peanut butter. To the gulag. Vanilla. Put this back in here. Time to beat the egg whites. If I have to beat anything else in this recipe, I'm gonna be charged with domestic violence. 1/4 cup of sugar. Egg whites. Oh! Goddamn gravity. Fold. Back you go. Pastry. This better be good. Yes. Ooh. Good night. Good morning. Finish with whipped cream. God damn it. It's beautiful. Sorry about that. Potato donuts from the Great Depression. Now I say that disrespecting donuts should carry a life sentence, so let's see if we're going to jail today, huh? Peel and boil 2 russets. You know, a lot of things start with potatoes. French fries, hash browns, famine. Communism. Potatoes are finished when they're soft. Yes, I've noticed that with men, too. Once the potatoes are cool, we add a cup of buttermilk, pack of yeast, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, and a half teaspoon of soda. Half cup of melted butter. Don't kill the yeasty boys. They're working very hard. 4 eggs, 7 of them. Add enough flour to make a dough. Putting your faith in the wrong man. Sugar! 2 cups! Told you not to trust me. This took about 6.5 cups of flour. Now we let it rise for an hour. This is the first time we're deep frying. Cinnamon sugar. Oh! Best donut I've made. A bologna cake from 1966. What's more American than bologna and cake? Eating it. Pack of cream cheese. A tablespoon of onion powder. Plus 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Boy, honey, this sure does smell like a cake, huh? Luis, I'm taking the kids. Are you ready for bologna? Good, because there's a pound of it. She says you'll find the rest of the recipe quite intuitive. No, I don't. Certainly not. Your friends are gonna love the circles of indistinct mammal. Normally, I'm quite comfortable handling meat, but this is physically disturbing me. The last one. To finish, we decorate with spray cheese. This is giving me emotions previously unknown to man. Are you supposed to eat this on crackers or on drugs? It's uncomfy and it's bad. Rice bread from World War I. This recipe happens to be gluten-free, as if 1918 wasn't miserable enough. We begin with a half cup of white rice. Water! The rice is resigned to be overcooked. Why you gotta say it like that? It sounds like a court order. I hereby sentence you to be overcooked. Ah! Cup and a half of cornmeal. 2 tablespoons of margarine. Then 1.5 cups of milk. Scalded. You useless! Do you mean scalded with an A? He's like, nah, fam, that ain't no typo. I want you to yell at your milk. Hot, hot, hot. Eggy. Woo. Well, the rice resigned all right. It is no longer with us. 1 cup exactly. 4 teaspoons of baking powder. Is this bread going to space? Bake for a half hour in a hot oven. Yes, I know it's hot, you get. It's an oven. 400 it is. Hello. Like a really smooth, fluffy cornbread. The rice does more than you think. Thank you. Fried crackers from the Great Depression. These are also called cracker flitters. What is a flitter? I don't know. Nobody knows. We begin with 2 sleeves of saltines. America's favorite sawdust squares. Cover and soak these with water. Granny's favorite, soggy crackers. Now we squeeze and drain it. Just imagine cooking this and trying to tell yourself that everything is okay. 1 eggy. Now we heat up a skillet with what? A suitable amount of lard. There is no suitable amount of lard. Never has been, never will be. Fire! And then we just... try not to die. How long does sadness take to cook? And finally, we douse in maple syrup. That is surprisingly good. Seriously, give this a try. You don't have to use lard, though. Magic mayo from 1951. What is magic mayo besides a mistake? I don't know, but the first ingredient is sweetened condensed milk. Don't worry though, it's only 2/3 of a cup into a jar. It'll just take 12 years, 1/4 cup of olive oil, 1/4 cup of vinegar, the yolk of 1 eggy. I find this incredible because mayonnaise is actually dairy-free, yet these people have managed to turn this into a lactose bonanza. We finish up with a pinch of salt, cayenne, and ground mustard. Now we seal and shake vigorously, preferably to kill whatever demon we've summoned. You know, I used to like mason jars. Then came gentrification. To the fridge! Okay. Well, that's awful. But nobody eats mayonnaise by itself. No! It tastes like sunscreen! Chocolate zucchini bread from 1968. Now, when I think of zucchini, I think of good barbecue, summer salads. Men, just not dessert. But we start such a dessert with a cup of flour, half cup of cuckoo, chocolate bite, and a teaspoon of floof soda. Now we melt a 1/4 cup of margarine. Beep. A 1/4 cup of an oil of my choosing. I'm guessing 10W30 wouldn't work. Cup of brown sugar. 2 eggy. For the zucchini, we need 1.5 cups shredded, skin and all. I hate zucchini. Doesn't taste bad, it just makes me feel insufficient. Wet. Dry. Mix. This isn't just a chocolate cake recipe with a bit of zucchini. No, this has more zucchini than flour. 50 minutes at 350. Goodness gracious, cease and desist!
Come on.
It's really quite brilliant. Deepens the chocolate, keeps it nice and moist. I don't make the rules. A gooey butter cake from the 1930s. We start with a cup of flour, third cup of butter, paper, dash of sugar. You have to look like breadcrumbs. I don't know what type of bread y'all eating. We then press this into a square pan and cast aside, which is dead people talk for put it away. Time for the filling. That's the perfect name for a baking themed OnlyFans. First is 3/4 cup butter, cup and a quarter of sugar. Butter go butter. One egg. This thing's popping. Now we alternate between adding a cup of flour and, because it's the 1930s, 2/3 of a cup of evaporated milk. Flour. Ooh. 1/4 cup corn syrup. We'll be done by Christmas. Nilla. Whoops. That's a lot of Nilla. I'm guessing the flavor profile is going to be cholesterol. Powdered sugar. 350 for a half hour. You know, some dishes aren't amazing, but they are innately comforting. And this is a prime example, like a hug on a plate. Wow. A crusty spam bake from 1965. You guys are gonna be the end of me. To start, we're gonna need some cornflakes. Promise, I'm not making this up. A little bag. Crumbs. Now we get our can of spam and we cry. Slice into 8 pieces using a knife. Thanks for that tip. I was in danger of using a spoon. To the cornflake crumbs, we add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and a dash of cloves. Because why not go full manic? Drain a can of pineapple slices and brush with butter. Just another day in America. Coat the spam slices in mustard. No, don't make... 20 minutes at 350.
All right.
That ain't it. Pickled cheesecake from 72. Says this cheesecake stands out because it's savory. You don't think it has anything to do with the pickles? We start with a pretzel crust. Melted margarine. Time for the filling. Pound of cream cheese, cup of sour cream, goat cheese, and some pickle juice. Beat until soft. Honey, I don't need instructions. I'm single. Egg, parmesan, garlic, onion powder, and red pepper flakes. At least it's hot garbage. Now for the star of the show, an entire cup of dill pickles. Smooth top. Yes. 45 minutes at 350. Good night. Oh boy.
What is that?
No, it's a demon quiche. A cottage cheese jello salad from 68. That's not a typo, this is deliberate. Someone published this and got paid for it. Let's not make assumptions, though. We begin with a pint of cottage cheese, followed by a can of crushed pineapple. Well drained, of course, like my hope. Next, we joyously sprinkle in an entire packet of lime jello. Can I start making assumptions now? Oh, come on. Ma'am, do you know what a salad is? Because whatever you think, it's wrong. Lastly, we fold in a tub of Cool Whip. To the fridge! At least nothing hatched. Ma'am, no. It's just disrespectful. A jellied meatloaf from 1931. We begin with a pound of ground beef. You don't want the sky beef, that would be scary. Fire! Who's mooing now? Strain it and let it cool. It's not dinner time until you add a pack of gelatin to some water. Onion and celery. Celery. You know what stings more than a knife, Mr. Onion? Rejection. Now 2 cups of chicken stock. Time to boil. Strain the stock into the gelatin. No veggies allowed. Thank you for your service. Now that this is thick, we add in the beef, pimentos, and then we mix. This is revolting. No. What a joy. To the fridge. Good morning. Oh! Incorrect. It's a cat food recipe. Choke. Chocolate cottage cheese cookies from 1955. This was given to me by my friend Shelby. It's called Quick Dishes for the Woman in a Hurry. In a hurry to take a dump. We start with a cup of margarine. It's like butter, but terrible. 2 cups of sugar. Now we beat. That tracks for the 50s. 2 eggs. Then an entire cup of cottage cheese. I hate cottage cheese. It looks like it's listening to me. Chunky. For dry ingredients, we need 3 cups of flour, a teaspoon of floof powder, and a half teaspoon of floof soda. Half cup of cocoa. Get in. Finish with nuts. Don't have to ask me twice. Mix. 10 minutes, 350. Hello. Oh. Now that's just a good cookie. It is distinctly different, but good.